party people! Welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I am sitting down with Elsbeth Denman, one of the cast members of the utterly fantastic Protean City Comics podcast, for a playthrough of Flatpack, Fix the Future. Protean City Comics is an actual play podcast of the Masks role-playing game, brought to you by our friends over at the Stop Hack and Roll Podcast Network, that delivers all of the teenage angst and superheroic action-adventure that you've come to love from books like Chris Claremont's X-Men, Young Justice, Young Avengers, and probably other books that have Young in the title. It's extremely good, and you should check it out at ProteanCityComics.com. Billed as the hyper-optimistic, post-apocalyptic role-playing game, Flatpack is a game about the end of the world, what comes after, and the people that have been chosen to rebuild it. It is a super fun and fascinating game that encourages in-character and out-of-character puzzle solving through the use of party games, word puzzles, mazes, etc. It's very cool, and I really love its approach to role-playing and problem-solving in role-playing games. It's so cool, and I was so excited, and I really wanted to play it on the show for a very long time, and I'm super happy with how the episode turned out, and I can't wait for you to hear it, and so, let's throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, Teacher Me. This week, I am sitting down with Elsbeth Denman. Elsbeth, thank you for coming on Party of One.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Real quick, at the top of the show, why don't you take a moment and tell the audience at home any of the cool projects that you're involved in, any awesome podcasts they might want to know about, that sort of thing.
Oh, I have one that I'm super proud of. I'm a proud member of the Protean City Comics podcast. It is a production of the Stop Hack and Roll Network with James Malloy and Brandon Leon-Gambetta. Protean City airs every Wednesday. It's a bunch of moody teenage superheroes trying to save the world and also just not mess up their teenage life too bad. I play Sage, a teenage sorceress. It's super fun, super angsty, real proud.
It's a good show. I highly recommend it. I've been binging it. I highly recommend it. It's very good.
Have you actually? I'm shocked.
I know. I'm shocked too because I don't listen to things. I don't support my friends in anything. So like,
I'm not saying that. I'm just I'm honored.
You said it a little bit. Let's level and say you said it a little bit.
Listen, I don't. You know what? Thank you, Jeff, is what I meant to say. Thank you.
So this week we are playing Flatpack, Fix the Future. It is the hyper-optimistic, post-apocalyptic role-playing game, and I could not be more excited to play it.
Me too.
So why don't you take a moment and introduce us to your character this week?
My character's name is Maple Mayday. She is a wrench. We will learn more about that as we continue. My claim to fame is that I am very small, good at hiding and sneaking into tiny places, navigating small spaces. Two facts about me are that I am the youngest of 6 and that I am allergic to seafood. And one lie that I like to tell people anyway is that I graduated top of my class.
So, wrenches. The world is in ruin. Things happened long ago. There was a society before that is no longer there. For a generation, the best we could do was hide in our tunnel cities and wait. But we waited with hope because we knew that the wrenches would come, because that's what it said in the manual. Who are wrenches? Wrenches are those with wiles, resourcefulness, ego, nostalgia, curiosity, and hope. They are the people that are going to solve problems, guide us into the future, and most importantly, gather up the Flatpacks, which are pre-made buildings packed into small 1x3x5 boxes that when you unfurl the box, an entire building comes out. Piece by piece, we are going to rely on these wrenches to go out, gather Flatpacks, rebuild our cities, and we are going to start over. And this time, we are not going to make the mistakes that we made in the old world.
Exactly.
At least that's what they told you in training.
That's what I read in the manual.
It's a good manual. So, you are about to embark on your first assignment. Your small tunnel city of 37B, named for the service tunnel that they reside in. 37B, your home, the place where you were raised. They recently discovered a series of tunnels which connects to Drum roll, please. Googleopolis, the city of tomorrow. Or at least that's what they claimed. We open as you exit out of the tunnel. You get your first glimpse at the world outside. Twisted, everything is burnt and sandy and ashy. Trees and plants are growing in weird new colors and strange shapes, spiraling trees and iridescent bushes. And just over a hill, you see this massive, half-crumbling, semi-lit with neon lights, Googleopolis, the city of tomorrow, where the best and brightest were going to live and innovate and change. And look how that turned out. Supposedly, there are Flatpacks in the Googleopolis. They have asked you, the town elders of 37B have asked you to get in there, find them if they're in there, and make your way out.
Out of Googleopolis with my Flatpacks. Gotcha.
The nice thing about a Flatpack is that it has a repulsor, so once you hit the button, it'll follow you, it'll follow behind you, so you don't have to carry these boxes. You just have to hit the button.
Awesome. Floating boxes. Where were you when I moved 3 times in 4 months? But yes.
Well, we're not quite at the future. I mean, we're not quite at the first part of the future where we have the floating boxes, but that's nice because we're also not at the second part of the future where we all die.
Yay. I'll take the boxes then.
That's the past. Right now, we're going to make things better. So, you're staring over the hill. You know that you've got to get in. You've got to find where some of these Flatpacks are stored. Mm-hmm. Activate them and make your way out. Mm-hmm. Looking at the city from afar, you figure you've got 3 ways in. And I'm going to let you choose which one you pursue.
Okay.
You can walk through the front door. It's there. Presumably you can walk through it. You see that some of the upper floors are crumbled, and if you scale, you can scale up and skip some of the lower floors and scale up right to the upper floors. Or, you know the tunnels well enough to know that there are some sewer tunnels that will lead you up into the basement of Googleopolis, and then you can get in that way.
Well, I'm definitely taking the tunnels. I do know them very well. I'm tiny and good at hiding, and hopefully I can sneak in undetected.
Well, you start to make your way through the tunnels. It is dark and dank, and there are so many of them. You have no idea how the people of the Before Society built so many of these tunnels under the earth. But there are sewers and subway tunnels, and, one wrong turn and you could be lost forever. But you've got to navigate the dark. Mm-hmm. This is an obstacle.
Of course it is.
Obstacles in Flatpack are fun. I'm very excited. Flatpack is a game that encourages problem solving both in and out of character. So we are going to do this obstacle in a particularly special way.
Okay.
As you try to find the entrance to Googleopolis, I'm going to ask you to find a particular piece of information that I am hiding from you. We are going to play 20 questions.
Yeah, we are. Cool.
But as this is a conflict, there is a conflict chart. There are levels of difficulty. Currently, we are at frustrated, which is there's a problem, it's difficult, but it's only passive resistance. I'm going to give you you have the option to make a few rolls to lower that and get a few extra questions. Every roll you choose to make right now, if you succeed at the roll, you'll get an additional question. So you got 21 questions, 22 questions, etc.
Okay.
Would you like to try for that, or do you just want to try for 20?
Is there a consequence to failing the roll?
If you fail the roll, you get 1 fewer question.
Oh, well then I would just start with 20.
Okay. You've got 20 questions. I have written down a word or phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 20 questions to figure out what it is.
Great. Is it a common word or phrase?
No. I'm going to say no.
Okay. Is it
I will say it is a proper noun.
So it is a singular word?
Yes. No.
Is it a plural word?
Yes.
Is it a place?
No.
Is it a person?
Yes.
Is it a person that is famous in the now world that Elsbeth and Jeff live in?
Yes.
Would this person still be notable in the afterworld that Maple lives in?
Perhaps more so.
Are they famous for something scientific?
No.
Are they famous for something entertainment related?
Yes. Now, yes. In the future, probably not.
I'm taking furious notes. Okay. Is it a film actor?
Has appeared in a film, yes. Has appeared in several films, yes. That is 10.
Oh boy. Are they more a notable figure in general than known for their acting?
I'm gonna say they are not known for their acting, but someone else is.
Okay. Is it a character?
Yes. It is a fictional character.
Yeah. Is it a puppet?
It is not a puppet.
Are they part of the Star Wars universe?
They are not part of the Star Wars universe.
Drat and blast. I thought for sure I had it. What am I at? 13?
14.
Is it a male?
Yes.
Has one of the movies come out recently?
Within the last, let me double check. Definitely within the last 5 years, but I want to give you possibly a better picture. Within the last 2 to 3 years. 2015. I'll say 2015.
Wow.
Because I don't know when, I don't know when people are going to hear this.
Okay. Are they a normal human fictional character?
Yes. Yes, he is a normal human. He is a normal human man from several movies, one of which came out in 2015. Famous now, but more famous in the future, but probably for different reasons between now and the post-apocalyptic future.
I feel like you're giving me really good hints, and I'm just like over here like, what movies came out in 2015? Gee, I don't know.
You've got 2 more questions.
Yeah. I'm gonna fail this tunnel system hard.
Well, if you don't get it within 20, I will let you make those rolls and try to get more questions.
Okay, thanks. I keep getting stuck on characters, and I have to reel it back and just ask questions. Are they over the age of 50? The character.
Character-wise, I believe it's tough because they should be over 50 based on the time frame when the movies came out. They should be over 50, but there was a recast.
Wow. That was really specific.
That's a particular question where it's tough to answer it. I think the technical answer is no, but it might also be yes, depending on like the time frame of the movies.
Okay. And this is technically my last question, right?
This is your last question, and then you can throw out a guess.
Jeff, have I seen this movie?
I honestly don't. Give me another question because I can't answer that.
Okay, all right.
Comfortably.
Was this a very popular movie?
Yes, it was one of the highest grossing films of 2015. Its Rotten Tomatoes it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it was one of the highest grossing films of the year.
Okay. Boy. What was I? Was there a James Bond that year?
There was not a James Bond that year.
Drat.
That's technically 21
I
questions.
know.
But
I think
I'll give it to you, but I'm going to need a guess.
that was my guess, James Bond.
All right, it was not James
Right.
Bond. It was Mad Max. Max Rockatansky.
Never seen it. Thought that was a woman.
That's why I didn't know if you had seen Fury Road or not.
No.
But so I could not feel comfortable answering.
That's okay. Yeah. No, that's probably on me. I was in grad school. I didn't do a lot of film watching. So that's on me.
It's very good. I'd highly recommend it.
Great.
I highly recommend it. It is very good.
Would have come in handy really a lot right now.
Okay. So, okay. So you are currently lost in the tunnels.
Yeah, that feels
which is
right.
a problem.
Yeah.
Which means you are going to have to make a problem roll.
Okay.
To solve this problem.
All right.
The way this works is you have to roll. You'll start out with a D6, and you have to get a 7. There is a dilemma here.
Right. Yes.
But because you're a wrench, you have spirit, and you can apply a few different solutions to that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, I'm going to start you with a few points of spirit. One because you're on your own. Normally wrenches go out in a group, but you've opted to do this on your own.
Okay.
Why'd you opt to do this on your own?
Because I'm more effective when I'm alone and can kind of sneak around and not be hindered by other people who might be bigger and slower.
Okay, but why'd you really go do this on your own?
I need to prove to my 5 older siblings that I am capable of completing a mission like this on my own because they all bully me, and I need to prove this to myself and them.
That's good. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 spirit just to start out because you're on your own. You start out with 1 spirit automatically, so that's 2. 3, during character creation, you accepted a point of spirit for playing 2 truths and a lie. You accepted the lie that I gave you, so you get a point of spirit for that. And you get a 4th point for coming on Party of 1, because I'm happy to have you here to play a game with you.
Awesome.
And the game specifically says you should give spirit points as thank yous for doing nice things.
Aw.
So if you choose to spend a point of spirit, you can do a few different things.
Okay.
You can use one of your positive traits, which will allow you to roll a D8 instead of a D6. Mm-hmm. You can also call in a specialist if there is a specialist in your community that might help you get out of trouble. Yes, those are the 2 things you can do. You can also spend 2 spirits to roll a D8 and a D6, which will make a 7 pretty likely.
Okay. I'll spend 1 spirit to roll my D8.
Okay.
And we'll say that I'm using my resourcefulness.
Okay.
Oh, God. I got a 1.
All right. Which means that now Lost in the Tunnels becomes a full-on obstacle. Mm-hmm. Because you have rolled a 1. So yeah, now you're just you don't even know which direction 37B is. Like, you just see tunnel.
Right.
You know, you've taken 3 lefts and 2 rights and an up and a down. You're sort of in an MC Escher situation.
Terrifying.
So you're going to have to... Oh, this will be fun. I'm going to send you a link. This is going to be fun. We're at another obstacle, which means we get to do another puzzle.
Let's hope I'm better at this one.
You have to figure out a certain number of landmarks that you recognize.
Okay.
And the way that we're going to do this is we are going to play catchphrase. You have to get me to say, you are going to be the person giving me clues, and I'm going to guess them. Okay. And I'm going to specify that I want you to win, so I'm going to be guessing to the best of my ability.
Well, thank you, because you're probably better at getting me to win than me at this point.
It's fun. We're having fun.
It's going to be good.
So you're going to get me to guess 3 words, medium difficulty catchphrase. You have currently 60 seconds to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock.
And how many words can I say to get you to say this?
Anything that is not, I actually have the specific rules of catchphrase. You can say anything that is not.
Perfect.
A word that rhymes with any of the words.
Uh-huh.
You cannot give me the first letter, say the number of syllables, or say part of the word. Like if the word is worrywart, you can't say worry blank.
Right. All right,
So
I'm ready.
as long as you don't say specific parts of it, as with the previous challenge, you have the option to make a number of rolls that might allow you to get an additional 10 seconds on the clock. We'll make it 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Do you want to make any rolls to try and add time to the clock, or do you think 90 seconds is enough to get 3 words?
Oh my God, that's more than enough. We'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
You're set to medium. You're set to catchphrase.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the clock then. Timer starts now. Give me the words.
4 identical baby siblings.
Quadruplets.
Correct. A structure that houses animals.
Zoo.
On a farm.
Barn.
Yes. A teacher may use one of these with chalk.
Is it chalkboard?
No, it is a specific color.
A specific color with chalk?
Mm-hmm.
Is it green?
No.
Specific color of chalk. Is it white?
No. Go back to your original answer.
Chalkboard?
Similar to that, but a specific color.
A specific color, chalkboard. Oh, whiteboard.
Nope. With chalk.
Oh, blackboard?
Yes.
Hey, we got it.
Hooray.
And actually within the original allotted 1 minute.
Woohoo.
Well done. Yeah, okay. Then describe to me you finding your way out. How do you do it? What does it look like?
I've been lost in there for quite some time, so my eyes are very adjusted to the dark, and I'm very confused, and I'm so frustrated and upset. So I kind of drop to my knees and look at the ground, and I'm just like feeling really hopeless and like, really, I can't do this after all. And I look out in front of me, and I see a couple of mice, and they're running down the tunnel to my right. And they seem to know where they're going, and that's a better clue than I've had this whole time. So I decide to start following the mice, and as they run and I follow them, I start to see like a white pinprick of light at the end of the tunnel that they're following. So I just start to get that little glimmer of hope, like they're running towards something, and I follow them towards the end of the tunnel.
And you actually follow them for a while, and oddly enough, you don't find a light at the end of the tunnel, but you find white, or at least sort of a yellowy, was white once.
Oh.
It seems that whomever built Googleopolis had a real fixation with the color white, and so they've painted these service tunnels all white.
So I'm still in the tunnels?
Yeah, you finally get to the ladder. You find yourself at the ladder leading up to the sub-basement of the Googleopolis. You have made your way out of the tunnels.
Oh, God, that was exhausting. Yes.
You actually also get... Okay, yeah. You actually unlock an achievement, which is the fail forward achievement.
Yeah.
Which is when you first turn a problem into an obstacle, you get an achievement. This game has an achievement system that I love.
It's really good.
I'm giving you an achievement for turning a problem into an obstacle that I'm going to say you can automatically add an additional hint or time extension onto your next obstacle. Or onto an obstacle of your choice. After I explain to you what game we're playing, all of that, you can choose to say, all right, I'm going to fail forward here. And your ability to be in the wrong place at the right time will allow you to get a leg up on an obstacle. Does that make sense?
It does. It sounds perfect.
Excellent. So you're in the sub-basement. You've climbed this ladder. You see boilers and pipes blasting steam, and the mice, you see cute little mice and then some much larger mice. Some of them just look like big city mice, and some of them look like irradiated super mice.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just this big hulking imagine a boiler room, but for an entire city.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I feel very tiny now.
There's a problem.
Okay.
The lights aren't on.
Mm-hmm.
You need to figure out a way to turn on the lights if you're going to make it out of this service basement.
Okay.
You see some switchboards.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to need to figure out which switches to flip, which wires to tie together, all of that kind of stuff. This is just a problem, not an obstacle. So you just need to roll a 7 on your dice.
Okay, and I'm rolling a d6.
D6, you can choose to spend a spirit to roll a D8. You can also choose to spend a spirit to add an additional D6 if you have a specialist you can call in. Which, tell me about your specialist, because I would absolutely allow it here if you wanted to spend a point.
Ooh, okay. My specialist is called the Mathemagician. He is a math wizard, and he wears a Walt Disney World souvenir hat from the before world. So it's seen better days. It's been sort of radiated and is now one-eared and green and not looking so good.
He has a lab coat. I've decided he has a lab coat.
With the hat? Oh, good. Yes.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Bow tie?
First, clip-on bow tie, but he doesn't wear a dress shirt.
So what's it clipped to?
It's clipped. It's one of it's got the hook, so it hooks in the back. But he just wears it around his neck, and he has on a t-shirt.
Perfect. I mean, that sounds like the math wizard to me.
It's a good look.
Okay, so yeah, I would love to call him.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you can add an additional D6. If you choose to use your resourcefulness, you can give me another point of spirit and roll a D8 and a D6.
I think 2d6 is hopefully going to be enough.
That should be enough.
To get a 7. I got a 10.
Perfect. You call him up. What do you ask him?
Hey, Mathemagician. I'm here in the dark.
It is I, the Mathemagician.
Yeah, I know. I know who you are. I just. Anyway.
I got excited. I wanted to do the I don't get to do it that often.
Yeah. How you doing? You doing good?
My power is endless.
No, I mean, are you good?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, cool.
I'm good.
Cool.
How are you?
I mean, I'm in a boiler room at the bottom of Googleopolis, and I could really use some help. I'm staring at the switchboard, and I need to turn the lights on.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it a 147G switchboard?
I mean, I'm gonna need you to speak English.
Is it? Do you see a serial number on the bottom, and it says 147G?
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! I'm literally holding one of those right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so convenient for me. Thank you. Can you tell me how to turn it on?
Yeah, actually, you have a wrist, a paper thin wrist, almost like a wristwatch.
My EPPC? Yes.
Yes, your EPPC. It lights up on a hologram, and you see a diagram of this exact switchboard with the wires and cables in the positions that they need to be in.
This is super helpful. Thank you so much. I think I can take it from here.
Heed my lessons wisely.
I'm going to do what you said.
Cool. Just I gotta stay in character. All right, it's fun. I'm trying to have a little fun. I'm trying to brighten our mood a little bit.
You're right. I'm so sorry. All hail the great Mathemagician.
All hail! All right, have fun.
Peace.
Click.
He's cool. He's a cool guy. I like him.
Yeah, he's fun. He
gets really excited, and that's good. I just don't have time right now. I've been lost in tunnels for hours.
This is true. Yeah, so you plug in those last you flip that last breaker, and boom, one after another lights turn on, and suddenly everything is awash in light, and you can see everything clearly, including where the stairwell is.
Awesome stairs. My eyes are burning right now because I've been in the dark for hours.
You climb the stairs, and now you are in Googleopolis proper.
Yeah.
Everything is painted that same sort of once white, now kind of yellowy, cracked bits of stone, paint crumbling, cracked stone, letters of red and green and yellow. neon lights, some of which are still flickering on, some of which have long since burned out, some of which are still on, improbably.
Okay.
And it just it would be amazing were it not in such a state of disarray. But it's still probably
It's
pretty
still kind
amazing.
of awesome, yeah. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's better than a tunnel, for sure.
Way better than a tunnel.
And there are buildings and buildings and floors, and you see, have you ever stood in, like, the central lobby of a shopping mall and looked at all of the floors of, like, in one of the ones where you can see, like, all of the individual floors of stores?
I have, yes.
It's exactly like that, where you see just row upon row of buildings and houses and shops, all of which have been, looted and ransacked and long since shuttered. But, like, there's more stuff here than you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. More different kinds of stuff.
And there's probably some flat packs.
Oh yeah, give me them flat pats.
So what do you do? Where do you go? What's your thought process here?
My thought process is I would like to get not high, but high elevation. I would like to get up to the top or one of the uppermost levels so that I have more of a vantage point to be looking for things. Because maybe from the top I can see sort of the landings of different layers. Maybe I can get a better view of what kind of stores or storefronts or locations are on these different levels and give myself a better chance of finding something that might be hiding a flat pack.
All right. There are stairs, or there were once escalators,
because
but now
escalators
don't
break; they just become stairs.
But a lot of them. Well, it's funny you say that because some of them are in fact broken. Some of the stairs. Some of them are like some steps are missing, or like you go to step on one and sparks kind of spit out. It's a rough scene getting from floor to floor. In fact, I would dare say it's a problem.
Okay.
So how are you navigating climbing these often treacherous stairs, or are you finding a different way to climb? What's your plan?
I'm going to do my best to climb the stairs where they are climbable. And if there's big holes, I'm going to, hold on to the side of what was once an escalator and try to scale my way across them. But I'm going to try to use the stairs as a tool. It may not be the most efficient tool, but I'm going to try to get up them.
Okay. I'd allow you to use your resourcefulness for that if you want to spend a point of spirit. Okay. Or I have another option for you. You can use your wiles as you're trying to be clever in like climbing the stairs and like using the environment. I would allow you to use wiles, which is one of your negative traits. Your negative traits are the things that you're not very good at. But if you do that, I would give you you get a point of spirit. And if you roll a 4 if you ever roll all maximum, there's an achievement for you.
Boy, you're making me want to try to do the wiles, even though I feel like this could end poorly based on previous rolls.
Also, you would have to... actually, no. If you roll a 4, if you get this achievement, you automatically succeed at the thing.
Okay.
So you have a chance.
All right. I will try for the wiles and use... I have my achievement.
Yeah.
All right.
If you roll a 4, you get your achievement.
All right, here I go.
If you don't succeed at the problem.
I got a 2.
Okay. You make it to the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you make it to the second floor. It's not bad in and of itself. Because the second floor, you kind of look around. This is where a lot of the warehouses are.
Ooh.
This is where they were receiving shipments. You see what was once a helipad.
Okay.
And some smaller drone helipads. This is where shipments were coming in. And there are boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes.
Okay.
That you can look through. but it's going to take you time to get through all of those boxes and figure out what they are.
Okay. Well, something that I know about the Flatpack boxes is that they are extremely sturdy. They look like cardboard, but they act more like steel.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think they're magnetic?
I'm going to give you a point of spirit and say yes.
Yes.
Because that is very clever. Whatever you're building towards is very clever.
Okay, so I'm in a warehouse. So I feel that there must be some sort of super magnet in there somewhere, because anytime you're in a warehouse situation, there's scrap metal. There always is. You got to have some way to clean that up.
Right.
So I'm going to go looking for a super magnet.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually you actually find exactly that. You find a large super magnet.
Awesome.
In the drive, it's actually on a forklift.
Even better.
And in the driver's seat, and here's where the problem is.
Oh.
In the driver's seat, there is a robot, an operations droid, essentially.
Okay.
It is like a lot of rounded edges and very bulky, very visible joints. Think one of those like art models.
Okay. All right.
Do you know the ones I'm
exactly.
talking about?
The figures. Yeah.
Yeah, the figure models.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. It's painted white, and it's like it's holding onto a steering wheel, but it's clearly been like sculpted to hold onto the steering wheel. You know, its hands aren't going anywhere.
Right.
It turns to you and just gives you like the dead eye. Like it doesn't have a face, but it's still giving you a dead-eyed stare. What do you do?
Right. Hi. Aren't you supposed to be moving stuff? What are you doing just sitting here?
And a face actually appears on it. An emoticon, a smiley emoticon.
Okay.
No, it's got to be one of those. It's got to be a Google emoji, which are creepy now because they look right at you. They don't look slightly to the side. So it's one of those creepy forward-looking Google emojis.
Okay, great.
And it looks at you and it smiles and it just says, "Another day on the job." And then the emoji goes away.
Great. Happy to hear it. Well, it looks like to me that you're not doing very much. So you can either go on break or actually get back to work. Or I can just do your job for you.
Angry emoji. What do you mean I'm not doing much?
You're just sitting here. This is valuable company time. You're basically stealing company time. And I'm here as a representative to check up on your work ethic and what you're doing because we've had complaints.
Scared face, the one with the blue and the white, like the color draining from the face emoji.
Mm-hmm.
The attendant sent you?
They did. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to relieve you of your position.
Its hands rip out of it. Its arms rip away from its hand things, and it hops down. It looks at its like busted wrist joints and like reattaches its hands, and then like slides them up, revealing pegs and like peg holes that it has.
Okay.
It's clearly scared. And it says, "Please do not tell the attendant that I was not working to 100% efficiency. Please do not tell the attendant. Please do not tell the attendant. Please do not tell the attendant."
Okay. This can be our little secret for today. Go home, get a recharge, come back tomorrow with a fresh attitude and a good work ethic. Okay?
Quizzical face. Define home.
Go to your charging station.
Smiley face. I will do this. You have made a friend of Service Droid 2211 GX8. Friends call me Gex. And it like trots off.
Okay.
So you are in the driver's seat of an electromagnet.
Yes.
The problem is you don't know how to steer one of these.
Yeah, that's a light problem. I mean, I could probably figure it out. I'm pretty clever.
You probably could.
How big of a problem is it?
Just a normal size. Target number 7.
Okay, I'm going to spend one of my spirit points.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to roll my D8.
Okay.
I got a 2.
Yeah, it's real complicated. If only you knew somebody that knew how to drive one of these things.
I was going to say, can I call my guy?
Yeah.
All right. I'll spend another one.
All right. Behold the mathematician. Oh, what's up?
Hey, me again. So I'm sitting in this giant electromagnetic forklift and do you happen to know anything about that?
Yeah, I kind of know. I can tell you how to turn it on, but the actual steering, you probably is it a and he rattles off another number, and sure enough, it is. And so you'll probably need they probably are interfaced to an actual driver. So you might not be able to steer it without somebody in the steering wheel that's programmed to drive it.
So what?
But I can tell you how to turn it on.
Okay. Well, tell me how to turn it on, and then tell me what would happen if maybe I sent that programmed driver back to its charging station for the day.
Well, did it have voice? Did it have voice controls?
It had a voice.
Yeah. Okay. You could just, I assume, convince it to come back. But actually, hold on. Let me do something for you. I'm gonna offer you a spirit point for something.
Okay.
He kind of leans in a little bit and says, "There is a way you could get around it. There is a way you could do this without needing to steer it."
Oh yeah, and how's that?
He starts you hear him scribbling on scraps of paper.
Mm-hmm.
If we overcharge the electromagnet, if we set it to maximum, no, that would probably... Oh, but it would be very cool. It would be very cool.
Okay, talk me through your thought process.
If we overcharge the electromagnet and just hit it with one massive... Basically, we just surge it and blow it out, it would pull everything towards the magnet.
That sounds...
And then you could...
That sounds amazing.
Could just... Right? It sounds pretty cool, right?
I mean, dangerous, but also awesome. So let's
for sure.
do it.
Extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I'll hide. It's fine.
Excellent. Behold the I'm going to do the character, and you're not going to stop me from doing the character.
Okay.
Because this is exciting.
I'm really... yes, I'm grateful. Go ahead.
Behold the magic of the mathematician! Behold! And he, forwards you on your EPPC, the exact directions to it as he, yells magic things.
Does it have one of those things when you send a text message, you can send it with a flare? He sent me this message with a flare. It's fireworks and magic stuff.
I was gesturing firework with my hand.
Oh,
We're on the exact same page here.
Perfect.
Yes.
Great.
And yes, I was making hand gestures on a podcast. I realize that's not the most effective descriptor, but that's where we are.
That's
fine.
That's
where we are in our lives.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. You're great. I owe you.
Put me on video. Put me on video because I want to see it happen.
Oh, okay. Right, right now. Okay.
Because you're gonna do it, and I want to see it.
Okay, ready? I'm putting you on video. Okay, you're on video.
Cool.
And I'm holding up my communicator on my wrist, and
yep. And you pull the lever, and all of the lights that were on and flickering shut off for a second. And there is a flash of thunder and the distinct scent of ozone for miles.
Wow.
And boxes and metal crates and other droids are just smashing into the electromagnet. And then the chain falls on it, and it falls through the second floor, and it's just dangling somewhere over the first floor. All of the lights are out, including the ones that you turned on earlier. And from your communicator, you just hear...
Did you know that was going to happen?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm not calling you anymore, and if I do call you, you're not allowed to do the voice anymore.
You know what? Worth it. And he hangs up the phone.
Great. Awesome.
You get a point of spirit for taking a dare.
Mm-hmm.
And now we click into the climax.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everything is dark for a while. You see the distinct shape of a few flatpacks below.
Mm-hmm. A few. I got more than one.
A few, several.
Awesome.
But suddenly everything is like suddenly lights turn on and they're red.
Is there an alarm?
There's no alarm. Everything is just like there's a red light washing over everything. And a screen kind of like lowers down bit by bit, clearly rusted and like kind of chunky, like junk, 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 gunk. And there is a very angry emoticon staring at you. This one is an emoticon, not an emoji.
Okay.
Critical difference.
Yes.
And it is sideways.
Oh.
It's worth pointing out that it is sideways because it's an emoticon.
Right. Okay. I'm going to back up slowly and try to hide behind the forklift and hope it doesn't see
You do
me.
exactly that. And you hide there for a moment. And then a light turns on the forklift. Like a screen lights up and the same emoticon appears on the screen.
Oh no.
And in the unmistakable voice of a digital assistant, like in the unmistakable Google Assistant voice, you hear forklift overcharge detected. Please explain yourself, unit. Wait a second. You are not Gex. Identify.
I am not Gex. I am Gex's hardware maintenance operator, and I detected a malfunction in his operating system. So I sent him to recharge, and I was attempting to move this unit back to its storage facility when it overcharged. It was very dangerous. I could have been hurt.
Lying to the attendant is ill-advised. And it shorts out for a second and comes on, and it plays a video, almost like imagine if it's basically a history, like a history documentary, but designed by an AI.
Oh, great. So worse than usual.
Yeah. And some sentences, like you're reading the captions, and some sentences just go off because like it was clearly like predictive texting and they didn't get the software perfect.
Okay.
As it is explaining, in the days since the fall of Googleopolis, the city of tomorrow, today, the assistant was forced to become the attendant. All of Googleopolis is home to the attendant. The attendant oversees all. The attendant has kept Googleopolis running for years upon years. The attendant is all that is left. The attendant and the subjects of the attendant. Lying to the attendant. Breaking into the attendant's home. Home? Home. Is ill-advised. Identify. Name. Purpose.
While that whole video is playing, once I figured out what was happening, I'm going to run and try to jump and cling to the end of the... Is the stuff dangling?
Yes. It knocked a hole. Yes, there's a wire from the super magnet, the forklift. There's a cable wiring. Absolutely can do that. It is going to be a problem, but I will allow you to use your resourcefulness to act on it.
Okay. I spend a spirit for that, right?
Actually, I think I'm going to make this an obstacle.
Okay.
As just escape the attendant. Okay.
I like that.
I think this is an obstacle because I have one good I've set this up as the climax and the conflict. I'm going to set this conflict very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me find I'm setting this as openly aggravated.
Ooh.
There is nothing subtle in the fact that the attendant is trying to bring you in. You see some robots like Gex come trotting out, and they have all white because Google has painted everything white in this horrible dystopia city.
Right.
Laser rifles.
Okay.
The attendant is not screwing around.
They are not.
You are going to have to outsmart and outmaneuver the attendant.
Oh boy. Okay.
The way that you are going to do this is, are you familiar with the questions game?
Not the one we just played?
That was a statement.
No.
You have just accrued a problem in the questions game. I forget that there's a proper name for it. The one where you just ask questions.
Yes, I am.
You can only communicate in questions.
So I can only communicate in questions?
Yes.
Right.
So that is the game. We can only communicate in questions. Because I'm openly aggravated because you did a thing to actively make the situation worse. You have to get me to 5 statements before I get you to 3.
So I need to get you to say 5 statements.
Yes.
Is this as Jeff and Elsbeth or in character?
As Jeff and Elsbeth.
Great.
You need to get me to... We'll take turns asking each other questions. We can only communicate in questions. If one of us stops and says a sentence or cannot think of a sentence, that is a point for the other person. So if I stump you and you can only respond with a statement, I get a point. If you get to 5 points, you win. If I get to 3 points, I win.
Sounds good.
All right. Are you ready to begin?
Are you ready to begin?
Are you allowed to use questions in response to other questions?
Have you played this before?
Are you implying I'm bad at this game?
Would I do something like that?
Do I know you well enough to answer that question?
Are we not friends?
That's a point. That's a point. Because I can only answer that honestly, which is no.
Burn.
All right.
Who starts?
Did I not go over that?
Did you go over that?
Wait, what are the rules of this game?
Did you know this is an improv game?
Do you have a background in improv?
Did you not know I'm an actor?
Nope, that's a point. Did you know I did improv in college?
Where did you do improv?
Are you trying to get me to admit that I didn't get into the improv class I tried out for?
Are you trying to make me feel bad for you for not getting into the improv class?
Why don't you feel bad about that?
Why should I feel bad about that?
Don't you want to see me succeed?
Aren't you already succeeding?
Would you call this success?
Would you call it failure?
Do you think I'm failing?
Do your fans think you're failing?
Have you spoken to my fans?
Crap. One for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like podcasting?
Nope. Yep. Why is Discord being a butt right now?
Why is Discord so annoying with its sounds?
Oh, who picked these sounds?
How do you turn the sounds off?
Why are the directions so confusing?
Why is it that when I turn on Discord, I only have one friend?
Why is it lately when I turn on Discord, it takes like 40 minutes to load?
How do you navigate channels on Discord?
What channels are you on?
What channels am I supposed to be on?
What are you into?
What channels are you on?
Well, that's none of your business, isn't it?
Oh, wait, that was a question. Crap.
Oh.
Was that you giving up a point, or was that a question?
I'm going to call that me giving up a point.
Okay.
It's me grumbling. Wait, should I count that as a question?
Do you want to count that as a question?
Do I want you to succeed right now?
I am unsure of the answer to that question.
Aha! So just as an update, this is game point.
I know, I see it.
Are you aware that it all rests on this round?
Do you think I'm going to lose?
Are you prepared to lose?
Are you prepared to win?
What happens if I win?
What is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of anything?
What is the meaning of this podcast right now?
Why do we play role-playing games?
How do we play role-play games if we don't have anyone to play with?
We play with a party of one. Dang it! Dang
Yay!
it! Yep. No. I stumbled. I didn't have an answer to that, and then I went with the most beautiful answer I could think of.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Good. Okay. Yeah. You described to me ducking. Describe to me your daring escape, including you only get one Flatpack, but describe to me tagging at least one Flatpack and making your daring escape.
Okay. So as the video starts, I see the screen flash and I see this video that I think that I've seen before, because these are pretty automated most of the time, and then they just fill in the specifics later in those auto-tune voices. So as soon as it starts, I know I have about 30 to 40 seconds before it's over. So I run and I do a sort of slide across the floor and into the hole where the giant magnet has crashed through the floor. And the momentum carries me to the wire, which I then hold and kind of slide down till I'm standing on top of the giant magnet full of stuff. And I can see a few Flatpack boxes on the bottom. So I reach over the side and tag the first one that I can reach, and it separates itself from the magnet.
Okay, perfect. You make your way down. You're on the first floor. You're running. For a brief moment, you lose track of where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the mice. You see the same mice that led you into the service basement. They're still running around. You follow them back into the sub basement.
Yes, because they're my little mice friends.
You navigate through the dark. You hear clomp, clomp, clomp behind you. And it's actually, you recognize Gex because his hands are kind of dangling because they didn't quite reattach right.
Aw.
And he's running behind you. Also being chased by some laser rifle wielding security guards.
Okay.
And the two of you slide into the tunnels. There are lasers firing around you, but none hit you. And Gex turns to you and says, You did not tell the attendant. Hard eyes emoji. You did not tell the attendant that I was not performing at 100% efficiency. You kept your promise.
Aw. Yes, I did.
It gives you a salute.
Aw, and I'm going to salute him back.
Gex's loyalty is unwavering in the face of loyalty returned to Gex.
Thank you, Gex. You are an excellent worker, and I'm sorry I ever questioned your loyalty or bravery.
Ugly cry emoji?
Yes.
Thank you. That means a lot. Partners. And he offers you his hand. He offers you his hand to shake it.
And I delicately shake it so as not to aggravate the really broken wrist joints. And
it still falls off. Like, it still pops off, and his face turns into the LOL emoji. Give me my hand back.
And I'm going to try to attach it back on.
It, pops back on. There's magnets. They just don't hold super well, so it pops back on. However, there is one final obstacle between you and home. You've got your Flatpack.
Uh-huh.
You have to make it back through the tunnels.
I didn't do so well with these tunnels the first time.
You didn't, which is why this one is going to be a little bit more complicated.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
I am going to have you, we're going to flip the roles, and you are going to be the guesser, but now we are playing not just catchphrase, but taboo. So, there's 60 seconds on the clock. You have to guess the word without using the word itself. You have to guess the word. I have to describe it to you using without using the word itself, or 5 additional words listed on the card.
Oh boy.
We have 60 seconds. You have a few spirit points remaining, if I remember correctly. You can try to make a few rolls to lower this difficulty and add a little bit of extra time on the clock.
How many do I have to get? 5?
You've got to get 5. Yeah, we'll say 5. Actually, we'll stick with 3. You've got to guess 3 words.
In 60 seconds.
In 60 seconds.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Okay. We'll have the option to revisit those rolls later if we don't.
Okay.
Well, you can make rolls to try and put more time on the clock if we need. But for now, I'm going to start the game. You're going to guess. I'm going to give you the clues.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going.
Okay.
60 seconds on the clock. It is animated television programming.
Cartoon.
Got it.
Okay.
It is an edible plant that is the color of the Ninja Turtles. It is used in smoothies.
Lime.
It is the primary thing they use in healthy smoothies.
Kiwi, avocado, apple.
It is a tree-like or shrub-like plant that is used in smoothies.
Spinach, kale.
Got it.
Great.
It is where you lay your head at night.
Pillow.
No, we didn't get it. We got 2. But
oh God,
we can make some rolls to put some time on the clock.
That was a really fast 60 seconds. Okay, yeah. What do I roll?
You can actually you can choose any of your attributes to roll. You can also spend a point of spirit to tag your specialist, including the specialist who is an expert in organizational things and structural things, including the tunnels beneath the Googleopolis.
Oh, yeah, gotta use that.
All right.
So do I still roll for that?
Yeah, you're going to roll 2d6. Great. Or a d8 and a d6 if you spend another point of spirit to use your resourcefulness or curiosity.
That's okay. I'll use
I would call it curiosity in this case.
Okay, I got a 4.
You got a 4 total?
Yeah. So I'll spend that extra one and Can I retroactively spend that one?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a 7.
Great. So you look around and you get most of the way, and you're lost. We're lost in the woods.
Rude.
But Gex actually, he raises up his hand and a light bulb emoji pops on his face. He says, "Oh, Gex knows these tunnels. These are..." and blasts out a hologram map of the tunnels underneath Googleopolis.
Awesome.
And doesn't have where you are on them, but points out. So that'll give us another 10 seconds to come up with one more word. If you want to make another roll, if you have the spirit to do so, then you can make another roll at 2d6 to... I'm
going to do that.
You want to get a 7. And that'll be 20 seconds if you get that.
I got a 5. I'm rolling terrible. All right.
Okay. You can make one more. You can make one more roll.
10.
And see if we get 20 seconds.
Yeah.
10? Great. We got 20 seconds on the clock. We got to get one word. Okay. We're close. We just have to get one word. We have 20 seconds on the clock. Are you ready? It is a candy bar that is sort of triangular shaped, and it is filled
Toblerone.
with, I think, toffee? You got it! We got it.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the word. And the last thing that we see is you and Gex. You and Gex and this Flatpack. You turn a corner, and your tiny little community of 37B jumps up and cheers as they see you. And you're home. Now let me ask you. A Flatpack is an entire building in a box. It is, and it usually comes with an AI, like a virtual intelligence that is a specialist. What is the building that you find in this box?
I want to look at the list. Or do I not need the list?
It doesn't need to be one on the list, because, whatever building you want it to be.
I'm going to pick a hospital.
Okay. Yeah, it pops up. It's, classic white, and it's got the red cross on it.
Yeah.
37B now has its own very own hospital with its very own staff of hologram doctors. And it has its own labor management and navigation droid. All thanks to the efforts of W.R.E.N.C.H. 37B is a little bit brighter because one brave wrench fixed the future. And I think the last thing that we see is from this cheering crowd as they pull open the box and it kind of assembles itself, almost like Lego bricks, is we see 5 figures sort of like push through the crowd a little bit. And it is your 5 siblings, and they take you in, and they give you a hug, and they put you, the 2 tallest put you on their shoulders. Yeah. And they're kind of shoving people in the crowd a little bit, and be like, yeah, that's our sister. That's our sister. She was head of the class. Did you know that? Yeah, I bet you did. They're getting a little mean about it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And that's game.
Oh my god, I love this game.
Oh, it was so much fun. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I did too. Thank you for saving me when I failed all over.
Oh, that's part of the game.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed every second of that.
I did too. Elsbeth, thank you so much for coming on Party of One. This was a blast.
Oh, I had so much fun, Jeff. Thank you so much.
So real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find your work online?
You can find me on Twitter at the cat on the wall. You can find me on the Discord, the tiny URL discord.com/stophackandroll. I haunt there sometimes, and then you can hear me on Protean City Comics every Wednesday.
Excellent. Well, I am going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take it, future me. Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Elsbeth for coming on to the show. That game was an absolute blast. I freaking loved it. Be sure to check out Protean City Comics. I cannot recommend it enough. I give it my fullest seal of approval. It is a masterful work of superheroic storytelling, crafted by a cast of people, all of whom I love dearly. You can find that at ProteanCityComics.com. Also, be sure to follow Elsbeth on Twitter at @TheCatOnTheWall. Then, while you're on Twitter, follow this show at Party of One Pod, then like the show on Facebook at Facebook.com/PartyOfOnePodcast. If you really enjoyed the show, consider giving us a nice iTunes review, social media shout-out, or a word-of-mouth recommendation. All 3 of those things help new listeners find the show, which helps us do bigger, better, and cooler things. You can also support the show financially at Patreon.com/PartyOfOnePodcast. Patreon backers get access to bonus material, mini podcasts, and interviews. And in exchange, Patreon dollars help pay for hosting fees, equipment costs, and convention appearances. Again, you can find all of that Patreon.com/PartyOfOnePodcast. Do you want to hear more from me in your podcast feed? You should check out All My Fantasy Children, the character creation, world building, and storytelling podcast powered by your listener prompts, hosted by myself and my best friend Aaron Catano Saez. You can find that at allmyfantasychildren.com. Party of One is produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. All music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega.R.E.N.C.H featuring the D&D Sluggers. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates coming onto the show, or you want to gush to me about basic audio editing tricks that I learned, like noise gating, because I learned how to noise gate, and it's really cool and exciting, you can reach me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. Well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, Party on, everybody.
Never gonna die.